Hello, good morning. How are you?
Oh, you've unmuted me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and a fine good morning to all of our fine viewers today. It is time for the graded morning experience.
That sounds very sexy, Xavier. Are you sure you're ready for this?
I'm very ready. My body is ready, Charlie's.
You with a sexy saxophone there. You're just ready to party.
Oh, yes. Very ready. I'm afraid it's a little early for my saxophone to wake up, so you just have to imagine me playing Careless Whisper.
Okay.
But I can totally play it. I mean it.
I believe you. It's not quite morning here, though. It's actually 3:22 in the afternoon. But, it's morning where you are, so it's totally fine to call it the morning show.
Also, you live in Narnia or something, so time is all funky there.
I wish I did live in Narnia.
I've been hanging out with Charlie for 3 months. You just left yesterday. What?
Can you imagine? So, what are we doing today then? You invited me onto this crazy extravaganza, which is your morning show. What are we doing today?
I thought we would get together and catch up and maybe play some video games. Maybe talk about some interesting stuff. And what the hell's going on here?
Give me my show back.
Oh, hey!
Give it back right now.
I forgot you lived here. Okay.
Gimme. Give me my show. Give me. Give here.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. Oh, okay, I got it now. Okay, good. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Graded 0.5 and the Graded Morning Experience. And I had to take this back. He was killing it. He destroyed it. He gave Graded 0.5 a lethal dose of poison. And it was the NWO. Oh, wait, that's the wrong promo. Did it again, didn't I? I need to stop watching so much old wrestling clips. Anyway.
Oh, don't. I've been addicted to MasterChef lately. So, everything's like a Kool-Aid or a drizzle or a. Do you know what I mean? So it's fine. It's better than what I'm doing.
The other night, it's so funny. Mom's been watching MasterChef Kids. And
I haven't seen that one yet, but apparently it's really good.
What's amazing about MasterChef Kids? You got two. I've always said you got two Gordon Ramsays, right? You got don't give me that shit. This looks like a dog's dinner.
Where's the fucking lamb sauce?
Yeah. And then you get the kids on there. He's like, oh, very good. Yes, that's very good. I like it.
Do you know what's really funny? Like, I watched the USA one because the British one doesn't have him on it, and the two hosts are really lame. And and the thing is, what I love about watching him on it, he actually gets involved and goes, no, you have to do it like this. And he actually shows them how to do the sauces and stuff. And yeah, it's we do love it. There's a new show with him over here at the moment. I hope you guys get it. It's called Future Food Stars. And it's basically The Apprentice with food.
That's awesome.
It is amazing. All these people have got to sort of prove to him that they can have his £250,000 investment to set up his business, and it is literally. And there is one girl on there. Jan and I laugh at her every week. She's a vegan, and every single episode they make her work with meat so far. And it's really, really funny. And she's Italian, so she's like, "What do I know about the meat? I'm a vegan." And it's just like,
well, you're Italian first.
Right.
You should probably know a lot.
Well, yeah. But yeah, we I swear he's doing it on purpose. It's quite funny.
And as you should. You know, like if you're gonna be vegan, that's cool. But if you're gonna run a vegan restaurant, there's only a handful of people that kind of do that. And
I will say, I will. You know, I'm watching an old series at the moment that I actually don't know the outcome to because we only found it on the catch up recently. But there was a guy on there who was a vegetarian, and he had to work with all these meat dishes. And give him his props, he would try the stuff and spit it out. So if he knew the flavor was right, and I remember thinking that's how a chef should work because. You know, unless it's religious grounds, and then you won't go near beef or pork or whatever. But he says it's you know, if I'm in this competition, I know this is what I've got to do, and I'm like, I kind of give you props for that. Yeah, definitely.
So, the other thing you could have done is like, this is my food taster. His job is literally to taste the food for you and make sure it's doing okay. That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't help me. That's all he does. Is like, is this taste good? Yes, good.
Yeah, but so everything with me at the moment is like reductions and Kool-Aids and so don't worry, I'm literally because I need to get back to work because I'm texting my brother, right? Because obviously you guys know my brother is a fully qualified chef, and I'll go, oh, have you ever heard of so and so? He's like, of course I've heard of him. Like, he's like, do I ask you every 5 minutes if you've heard of a historian? I go, no. He goes, well, get off the damn pot and leave my stuff alone. I'm like, all right, sorry. Anyway, sorry guys, I derailed your show then talking about food.
No. I mean, we're late. We're derailed right at the beginning. If this isn't a great show, I don't know what it is.
Charlie, you don't know who this ancient person in the world of cooking education is. How do you even boil water for spaghetti? How do you function? Is that what it's like? Is that what it's like?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I do get it though. Like, he must get really annoyed with him texting him, be like, "Do you know how to do this?" Yes, of course I know how to do this. I do it at work every day. Okay, fine.
But yeah, people, I put a video out. Was it Monday? It came out Monday yesterday, right? Yeah. What is today? Today's Tuesday, right? Okay. And basically explain what was going on, things like that. And how I really wanted to get back to doing shows, except night shows are can't really do them like I used to, right? And that's why I was glad. I said, I got time in the mornings. I can do it then, and it's been kind of a slow burn working up, like putting that intro together. My friend, good friend Caleb, helped us put that together. And what'd you think? What'd you think of the intro? Do you like the bait and switch? You think it's going to be calm? It's like, no, fuck you in your face.
I like it. I really like it. I like things like that anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely a fan of it. It's very you guys. Like, I can feel,
you're the third person to say that.
That's so weird.
But it's
the exact same wording too.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny about those streaming with you? I always have a real soft spot for Graded because, like, when I first came around CG, Graded was one of the channels that we watched. Like, I know Jan and I watched, apart from we watched the Drawn and Quartered show, and that was on, and obviously Ethan's streams, whatever. But we watched, and I never forget. It's so funny now to think of it. But like the first time I spoke to you, Optimus, in a back room, I was like, okay, weird to admit, I know, but I was like a little bit starstruck because I'd been watching you on streams for like a year, and I was like, oh my god, it's Optimus Deadpool, and it was like, now it's just like I'll message you and go, what the hell is going on here? Like friends do, and I'm like, my god, like a year, like nearly 3 years ago. My god, where's the time gone? It's like, oh, hello, Mr. Optimus, how are you?
Mr. Optimus is my father. But yeah, no, that was that was the motivation of doing. Was like, let's do a morning show. I know it's going to be a slow build. A lot of it's going to be a slow build. This is going to be talking to Xavier and a few other friends the other day. This is going to be literal Herculean effort to reestablish at this point. Because you get to a point, if you don't do regular content, you know how it is. You're just like treading water at the very least, and at the worst, you're actually losing. And I ain't gonna lie to you. There's been holes in the boat. I've seen them. We're not. The Twitch channel that Xavier started playing video games on over there has been doing great. We've been seeing real steady growth over there. But it's once again it was one of those things. It's getting the praise and all that fun stuff. But we need to get back to what made things work. And and what were we really good at? Making fun of people.
I just think you guys have got a lot of fun energy, and I think that it's another reason why, and I've noticed it last couple of days. People do notice when you're not there. You think, oh, there's like loads of people in CG. They're not going to notice if I'm not around for a bit, or if I'm only on Twitter. But last night was the first time in God knows how long I was able to make Comicsgate Kings in the chat, watch it live, and people in the chat were like, "Where have you been?" It's nice to see, and I feel really awful because the last thing you want, and this is something that I've always been really conscious of. Obviously, I've got my mailing list launching this Saturday for book 2, and I'm really conscious that I don't want to be seen to only pop my head above the parapet if I've got something going on, because that's not me at all. But it's like. But then also I am a constant worrier, so I'd worry about that even if nothing was going on. But you do notice that people love having you around. They love the energy. They love, what you might bring. And I think it's true what you're saying. You need to be consistent because, there are times when you don't want to get on a live stream or things are maybe a little bit hard. If that's the case, just try to drop a 10-minute video. I mean, that's going to be something I'm going to try and do in future. And I think it's going to, I get a lot of interaction with all my history stuff, even if I just put a tweet up about somewhere that I've been. So I've said for a while I'm going to be doing, some more streams and stuff like that. And I've had really cool people reach out and go, do you want to do a stream about this, that, and the other? And I was hanging out in Tug's chat yesterday, and I was, I sent him a message saying, with your background and the things you do, I'd love to do a stream with you about post-traumatic stress stuff in the First World War. And he was going, yeah, let's do it. So, there's so many different people in CG with so many different interests. A lot of the time, it's not just about comics. You can go on a stream. You can be on there for an hour and not talk about anything to do with comics.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. That's why I think these morning shows are great. It's another reason I love hanging out on Literature Devils one. Is 90% of it isn't about comics, but it's fun, good conversation. Exactly how I think you guys are going to do this show.
Oh yeah, that's the reason why, and the reason, the real reason I'm actually glad that you're one of the first people, is because I told Xavier one time, I said, you realize that we owe her a show? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, she debuted when you launched Charlie's London. Things were, I'm not going to say things were going in a bad direction personally, in life and things like that. So, I couldn't do the show like I wanted to. And of course, and then there was also, it was at 10 o'clock at night on Eastern. So that was like 3 a.m. for you or something like that, 3 or 4 in the morning. So it was like, it wasn't a good time. And I was like, God, we always owed her. I was like, so, I can actually say, hey, you've launched your book. Everybody's got, the book is out in the open now. Everybody has it, So good job.
Thank you. I learned so much from fulfilling the first one. I mean, things that I wouldn't have even thought would have been an issue on the first one. Like, for example, we ended up going 17 grams over on the packages for the basic book, which doubled the price of the postage.
Yeah.
And
you're probably thinking like we were. It's like, oh, just throw it in there. It ain't going to weigh that much.
No.
Spoiler alert. It weighs a whole lot more.
So for book 2 and thinking about the prices and stuff, obviously the great thing about having a one already is that we're going to keep the same paper stock, and we're going to keep the same cover stock, and all this stuff. So I roughly know what the weight of that's going to be. But then you've got yourself in a situation where it's like, okay, I don't want to skimp on the stretch goals because people, really love the bits and pieces they got. But then I don't want to put the postage up either. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So yeah, there's all sorts of things I've got to think about for the second one. But loads of people did message us and go, you've given a lot away here for free. Like, and I was like, well, I wanted to reward you all for believing in the campaign. So yeah, there is all sorts of things. I mean, I will say I had some. I'm quite open about it. I did have some issues with Mixam with some books that got sent that weren't in the best of quality, but I will say they rectified every problem, and they sent me a batch only like 3 weeks ago of some that I wanted. Was the ones that were a bit damaged, and I wanted them because in case overstock. Because at the end of the day, people are going to contact you and go, my book's turned up damaged, or I haven't got it at all. So you need to make sure you've got a load of them to one side. And I will say they sent me these books and they were bubble wrapped. Each individual book was bubble wrapped. And when I opened it, it was like there wasn't a single dent or line in anything. So I will say that they definitely won my confidence back because I was a bit like, don't know if I'm going to go with them again, if I'm going to get, we ordered 3,000 books at the end of the day. So when you're and the average, I think it was Eric Weathers said, on average, you're going to get the top 2 or 3 of the bottom 2 or 3 of every box are not going to be sellable. Yeah. That's a lot of books when you think about that. I think we ended up here with 42 boxes at one point. They were downstairs in the hallway. We had to go to our neighbours and go, we're really, really sorry about all of these turning up. And they went, we don't mind as long as you give us a free one. I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think in one box we had 20 books that we just had to we can't send this.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Now, let me ask you this. Because I don't know, because I know over there you have trouble getting Gemini mailers and things like that. Now, imagine imagine your books, like the books that come, that come in those boxes. Okay, now imagine 14 boxes of 100 Gemini mailers showing up on your doorstep.
Yeah.
And they're 3 times heavier than the comic book boxes.
Jesus. I mean, I did get some really good envelopes that I have to say, like, and people were messaging me going, you've packed these like a boss, like they are like there's not, because I wrapped it in. I got this amazing it wasn't bubble wrap, but it was like a foam sheeting, and I wrapped them in there. I mean, Xavier knows because that's how his one turned up, and I just made sure that every corner was covered. But the problem I think I had for mine was I did like 11 by 17 prints, like which is A4 over here. And that's what we consider to be our standard size for like, putting something on the wall or, like a nice framed picture. So it didn't dawn on me that for American sizes, that's not really a thing. So I was like, okay, I need to rethink some bits and pieces. But the great thing is nothing that was done damaged the campaign. Like it's only going to help for book 2. But I can tell you that 6 a.m. is back doing another sticker. So I'm excited to see what he does there. Stato's done 2 really beautiful postcards that are going to be available on the mailing list for anyone that backs the book. And I think that the thing that has made me go, holy, how did I get that? Was Graham Nolan is doing a cover for book 1, for book 2.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
So I had a feeling because I noticed you. I think it was a post you said something about been talking to Graham Nolan. I'm like, is that what I think it means? Like.
Yeah, he was really up for it, and considering I know that he's sort of pulled back from the commissions ever so slightly because he's got a lot of his own stuff going on. The fact that he could fit me in, I was so grateful. But he really liked the project, and he was like, I want to, and Chubb's obviously back again for book 2. Like he's doing a great Dictator cover, which is I'll show you guys later, like the whip that I've got. It is it's incredible what he's done. And we've actually got, which I'm really excited about as well, Love Pigeon. So Jim of Doomsday Kingdom is doing a cover. So we're going to have book 1 available on the campaign for book 2 for anyone that didn't get it. But he's doing an exclusive cover of book 1 for the book 2 campaign.
Nice.
So I just thought it'd be something a little bit different. If anyone does message me and goes, "Oh, is there any chance we can get one of the original covers?" I'm sure I can sort something out because I've got loads of them. But I'm not going to openly, I'm not going to massively advertise that again. I want it to all to be new and fresh. But yeah,
you know what you could do?
What's that?
You could approach Dale Keown and say, "Hey, Dale, I want a cover just because John Malin can't have one."
Oh, you meanie! You meanie! Yes, so it is going like it's pretty cool. I mean, the other thing, last but definitely not least, by a long shot, Billy Tucci's back doing another print for the kitten, for what will be the Kitten Caboodle package for book 2.
Nice.
So that's gonna. I think we're calling it the Modern Times Mega Bundle for the second one.
Oh, cool. I like
so
that.
The Kitten Caboodle for the Keystone Kitten Caboodle for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say something funny about this. I actually saw an auntie put in a tweet. I can't find it. I think they deleted it, but they actually put that I was subliminally putting KKK on my boxes because it was the Keystone Kitten Caboodle, and it was like, Caboodle doesn't even start with a K. It starts with a C, and it's on the campaign as starting with a C. Can you not spell? Like,
well, I say when somebody is seeing that kind of imagery, maybe you're the one that has the problem.
Because there's no cake.
No, I say the same thing about people that always cry about, that's a racist dog whistle. No, it sure is. You know how a dog whistle works?
Only the dogs can hear it.
Only the dogs can hear it.
Yeah.
All the people you say are racist making these dog whistles.
Yeah.
They don't hear it.
Yeah.
But you do.
Say? Yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? To give my experience with Charlie's book, it is still in the package because I told Charlie, which is going to happen next couple days now, thank goodness, because I figured things out. I wanted to do an unboxing, but my hang up was, okay, I had to use my phone to record it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest obstacle I was having, how am I going to get this thing stabilized, right? I said, I need a tripod, but I don't want to go buy a tripod for my phone.
Especially not for your phone.
Yeah, just because I was thinking, okay, could I tape it to something? I was thinking, So one day, Mom, lovely old mother, she was like, "What are you doing?" So I'm trying to figure out. She said, "Why don't you use my tripod?" I'm thinking, okay, I remember she had a camera tripod. I wasn't even, it's like, Mom, that ain't gonna fit for the phone. She's like, "No, I got a phone tripod. It's right over there." I looked over there, literally on the desk in the room that I'm in right now, and I'm thinking,
how long has that been there?
Yep.
Why did I mean, I've never spoken to your mum, but why do I have this vision of you like on all fours rummaging around and she stood behind you going, "What y'all doing?"
Yep. That's pretty much like, what are you doing?
What y'all doing? Yeah. I know. I can imagine. That's happened to me before. Things that you think your parents would not know or would not have a clue about, and then all of a sudden you're trying to explain it in the most layman of terms what it looks like, and then they're going, "Oh, you mean X, Y, and Z? Yeah, it's over there." Oh,
yeah.
You told me that before.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, it's literally a phone tripod. It's even expandable. So it would fit my because I have a Note, the slightly bigger Samsung phone, so it actually will fit my Note and everything. I was like, are you kidding me?
That's
been there the whole freaking time.
Pretty cool. Well, I'm excited to see what you think.
Yeah.
Because, but I will say to you that I was talking to Peter Gilmore in the last couple of days because obviously he's back doing all my banners and stuff because he is my go-to. He's literally, I can message him and he'll be like, "Yeah, leave it with me," and he's so consistent. He's like amazing. But we've had an idea. So the vinyl on the front of the Kitten Caboodle was obviously Charlie running away from a Keystone Cop. But we've had an idea that for this one, that we're going to have the Charlie's London logo in the middle and a cog on each side, and he's like going around one of the cogs.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah.
as
I like
as
that
one of
idea.
the vinyls. So there's loads of stuff we're sort of playing around with. So it is going to be really, really cool. And if you look on my Twitter right now, you'll see the banner that's up there for the new book as my banner on my wallpaper sort of thing. That's design. That was his work. I said to him, I kind of want the logo and I want like the blitz sort of behind it. And he went, leave it with me. And then like 5 o'clock in the morning, he sent me that. And I was like, geez, do you ever sleep?
Yeah, I don't think he does. I think I think the longer his beard gets, the less he has to sleep.
It's like his superpower.
Yeah, it's like I've noticed that. It's like he stays up later the longer his beard gets.
Yeah,
which Gilmert's
do
just probably
you
looking
sleep?
like.
I'll sleep when I'm done. When do you shave? When I wake up. Oh.
He goes from one extreme to the other, so he won't shave, and then he'll be on a live stream for 12 hours, shaving everything in a room, including a plastic wrap.
Yeah. Eventually, Pete's just gonna look like Alan Moore. It'll be like just long hair and all beard, just.
No, I don't think he'll do the long hair thing because he sees like I think he's quite dapper in real life. I know that he takes a lot of pride in his hair and stuff. So I don't know if you're but the anime guy in the chat has said, have we met before, Charlie? You sound like one of my friends. Possibly. If you're English, we may have met. We may know. Who knows? But yeah, so it's all nerves and jitters, gentlemen, at the moment. It's like, is book 2 going to be as successful as book 1? Are people going to like it as much? Are they going to like the covers? Are they going to like what's on offer? So it's all the scary self-doubt crap that lingers in when you do this sort of stuff.
So you're saying that within a month or so, I'm going to be like, hey, quit freaking out. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, quit freaking out. Well, that was like leading up to your first one is like, hey, quit freaking out.
Yeah, I know. But I've had loads of people say really loved it, can't wait for the second, so that's always positive. And
gives
I've
you
had
confidence going forward. Yeah.
And I've had so many people actually say how they loved what they saw. So that's always a massive positive thing. And I've had Stato every day, bless his heart, messaging me with showing me different images and stuff that he's working on. I think he's more excited than I am. He's like a little puppy dog. He's like, I've done this, I've done that. But yeah. He only had to make like 100 sketch cards for the first campaign, and he drew 250. And I'm like, why? He went, I just kept drawing them and couldn't stop. So, like, have them all.
Yeah.
I went, okay.
Did he have that moment where he's sitting there, he's drawing, he's like, Charlie, this is all your fault. You did this to me.
Yeah.
It's all your fault. You did this to me.
He was telling me that he was drawing them on his lunch break at work, and I'm like, look, I don't want you to sacrifice your lunch break. He's like, no, I just literally can't stop drawing them. I've got all these ideas.
Now, to be fair, I'm sure if he was doing this on his lunch break at work, where people asked him like, "Who's this guy you keep drawing?" And all of a sudden, you get these new customers because, well, that sounds very interesting.
Yes, it's us. How are you doing? Who are you? No, I know who you are. I appreciate
it is I.
It is
me.
I. Hello. How are you? Who are you? No, I know who it is. It's like, it's good to see you, brother. I haven't talked to you in a long time, man. We need to talk sometime. He's a good dude.
Lantern is here.
Yeah, Lantern. He's one of the mods finally showed up. Thank you. What's going on, y'all? Let's kind of go through chat. Like I said, we talk anime guy. Angry Game Boss has been a boss like all through. He's been showing up for Twitch streams and stuff like that. Cool dude, love him. Got COVID Kev. I've seen him around. Good to see you guys.
He's a CG UK guy. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Got old Caleb who did the intro and everything. He's a peach. You can't go wrong with here. And then Holy Ninja, I know who you are. I've seen you around. You're in we hang out on those streams and Micah's streams and stuff like that. You're a good dude. Glad to see you. And his anime just said, yeah, my friend Brendan, the Discord server, and you both sound almost sound alike. It's like, yeah, I remember Peter made a joke about that. It's like, all them Londoners all sound alike anyway or something.
Yeah, to be totally honest, like if I was to suddenly disappear for 5, no, my mum's not here, but If my mum was here and I was to just go off the stream and she was to start talking to you, you wouldn't know which one of us it was because we sound so similar. It'd be really funny.
Yeah.
And that's quite common, I think. There is a definite, I'm guessing to people from another country, we do all sound the same. Kind of like I'm guessing a lot of people think all Americans sound the same. And I don't, because I've been streaming with a lot of you guys. So I know that I can pick up the different accents now. But I'm guessing that people do that. They do go, "Oh, you Americans sound the same."
Well, at least you get my you get my region right. Some people I had some part. I kid you not. They says, "Oh, you sound what they say? So you sound like you're from Ohio," and I just started laughing my ass off. I was like, "How?"
I've been told I sound like I'm from Australia. So don't worry, it happens. But
no, you don't roll your you don't go Roy.
No, I don't. I don't at all.
You what?
What, mate? Yeah.
That does sound like me, funnily enough. Jan always jokes. He goes, "I always know when to step 5 steps back when you go what?" As in, like, oh God, it's the 10-second countdown. She's going to go nuclear, right? Like, what'd you say to me? Like, what?
Tell London about the cotton.
I
can't remember if it's the one I'm thinking about. That happened to a friend of mine, though, but that was funny. I'll tell the story real quick.
Yeah, go on.
Then can go over some other things that I got planned. So me and my friends, we were playing Street Fighter 4 on Xbox back in the day, right? And we decided, let's go do a tourney, right? So we started tourney, and of course, tourney, it just starts pulling in people, random people on Xbox Live. And my friend got matched up with this other guy. And he sends him a DM, which is, Xbox private message. He sends him a DM, and all he said to him was, "You gonna lose," right? Well, for some reason, the host of the tournament lost connection, so everybody lost connection, right? So my friend sent him a thing back, and he says, "Well, I guess we're not gonna find out. I'm real sorry about that, man. Hope to see you again." And the dude said, "Go pick that cotton."
What?
That is pretty much a roundabout racial slur.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, I said, did he just? I'm kind of laughing. I was like, did he just call you? He said he sure did.
Wow.
I want to say the gamer word, but I also want to keep my Xbox Live account.
That's pretty much what it was, right? It's like I want to spout gamer words, but I got to be more. Yeah, I was like, really? Are you kidding me? Jeez, but yeah.
That's well, yeah, because they're saying these things, aren't they, so that they don't get caught up in the getting busted for saying these things. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, now it's like they used to say you got to pay attention. I'm going to tell you, if you see them saying it on on like Twitter or something, be sure keep your on your guard. I'm gonna give you one, okay? One is like, instead of saying my N-word, now they're saying my brother in Christ.
Okay.
That's now they're substituting. They're substituting that for my brother.
Simply say my friend, and that be the end of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
well, for a while we had my dude.
Yeah, just my dude. Hey, what's going on, my dude? Of course, that's gendered or something, so we can't do that.
You know what? I was thinking to myself the other day, right? You're talking about that when like my cousin passed, I was talking to you about before. When he passed away, like 5 days later, it was his birthday, so we decided that I was gonna have. I mean, I can't stand JD and Coke, but he loved JD and Coke, so I had a JD and Coke for him, and I sat and watched Bad Boys because that was our film. But growing up, I saw that with him. I never forget. He rented the video from Blockbuster. Like, that's how old I'm gonna go. But when I traced in my head back the dates, right, I was like, I saw this when I was 12. He let me watch this at 12. Like, when you think about some of the things, like the things that are said in there, like what you're talking about, very similar to like words, and how it was like a punchline, and you'd say these lines because they were just lines from that film. You're like, oh my God, like you would literally get like cancelled for saying all that stuff now. And it's like, I'm thinking back, I'm like, so My 22-year-old cousin and I, when I was like 13, sat and watched Bad Boys. That's a whole different issue in itself.
Yeah. Oh, and just to give you an idea, never set your even if it's a joke, never set your alarm or like a text alert or anything like that for something in that regard, because that could get you in trouble too if you're out in public. A friend of mine one time. Have you ever heard of the Boondocks?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this, and Xavier, it was from the Exorcist episode.
I know exactly what they did.
You know which line he used too, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do.
So he was like, he had did it as a joke, Horia, ha ha ha, yeah, that's funny, like that, read, whatever, right? He was in the grocery store.
Well, I know, like, I used to go around to see him, and bear in mind I was like 14, 15 by this time, and you know the bit in Bad Boys when they go into the person's house and they've died, and they go, "Don't be alarmed, we're blank." Yeah, I used to walk in his house and say that.
Yeah,
like calling out to him when he was in another room, and I'm like, "Oh my god, like, did I really say that?"
Yeah.
But in my brain back then, I didn't associate it with being a slur because it was a line from a film. I know that's probably really naive. But at the same time, like, I'd never call someone one of those words in real life. Like, I'd never use it as a slur. But it just goes to show how sometimes you don't realise that the things you're saying could be taken offensive. But then I was also still like a very young teenager, and times were very different back then.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, and Dave Chappelle's show was popular, like immensely popular, the most popular show on television. So of course, everywhere you go, everyone's quoting Chappelle at each other.
Yeah.
Not only Chappelle, but you remember when we were growing up, the Eddie Murphy Raw?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, even just Eddie Murphy movies, not even just his stand-up, right? It would, like...
Speaking of quoting Eddie Murphy, do you remember that night we watched The Golden Child?
Yes.
We'd
been binging like Eddie Murphy movies, us and our friend group, and when we watched The Golden Child was the last movie we watched, and I had accidentally gotten like Eddie Murphy's cadence and just way of speaking down to a science. Every time I started talking, I kept slipping into Eddie Murphy and I couldn't stop.
Yeah, it was like for like 3 or 4 days. He was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?"
Nah.
Oh no, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the other, we was in my school like last year. We did because it was coming up to the end of like the summer term. We give the kids like projects to do, right? So we were told it has to keep in the theme of what they've been studying. So they were studying this one particular year group. They were studying civil rights movement and the Vietnam War. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to like give them a project on the history of Motown, because Motown covers like civil rights in Vietnam. And then like some of these kids, I caught them like walking up and like dancing, walking up and down the corridor. I was like, what are you lot doing? They went, oh, it's all right, miss, we've just watched Rush Hour. And I was like, why have you watched Rush Hour? They went, homework. I was like, how does that work? And then they started in the corridor singing War at me and then dancing. But they were doing it like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. They weren't doing it.
They sure showed you.
I was like, wow, what have I started here?
I'm not even mad.
Yeah. So you know what? Fair enough, right? Like, the outtakes from the Rush Hour movies are some of the best.
Oh God, yeah.
I think the one I always love is when Chris Tucker would forget the name of his, Jackie Chan's character, just call him Jackie Chan. He said, Jackie.
I can see that Jackie wouldn't let me.
Yeah. Like it was one where he's like, like the door was like, he said, Jackie, kick the door. He went, okay, Chris Tucker.
Yeah, the outtake bits at the end were always hilarious when they used to leave them on the credits. Yeah, and that was I mean, but it's just the fact that these kids were going y'all down the corridor, and I was like, oh, yeah. It's y'all, not y'all.
It's not y'all, it's y'all.
And it's that one. I actually heard one of them go, "It's cig a weed," and I was like, "Oh no, now it's gone too far." Right. But yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I think my favorite line, my favorite outtake from, I think it was Rush Hour 2, where Don Cheadle was in it for like 5 minutes, and he kept trying to do, like, Chris Tucker kept trying to do this line, and he kept saying, instead of Lee, he kept saying Jackie, right? He said, "Hey Jackie, blah blah." I'm sorry. go back, hey Jackie, blah 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 blah, and then like on the third one was like, hey Jackie, and then Don Cheadle goes, his name is Lee, goddamn.
Yeah, an angry green boss has just put the best one in there. Like, do you understand the words that coming out of my mouth?
I like in the second one, Jackie Chan's character said the same thing. He said, nobody can understand the words coming out of your mouth.
I think
my favorite. They went to Hong Kong, didn't they?
Yeah.
My favorite outtake was in Rush Hour 2, though, where Chris Tucker forgot to turn his phone off.
Oh yeah.
And Jackie got mad.
Yeah, he's like, we're filming.
Like, I have to take this. Hello, I will call you back. I'm on film right now. I'm looking at Jackie Chan right now. No, you cannot talk to Jackie Chan. Jackie, can you talk to this person real quick? I'm sorry.
Jackie's like, hello? We are filming now.
You wasted film.
Oh, we film now.
I think my favorite one from the two was the second, the last line, the last outtake where, they're looking after the dude fell through the window, Yeah. And Chris Tucker just goes, damn, he ain't going to be in Rush Hour 3.
Servant of God 777 just put, hello from my job, was listening to Rakata and Tug with the Amber Heard version. Yeah, they've just been talking about that on the news, actually. I've got the news in the background. I don't exactly know. Is he suing her this time?
Yes.
This is he's suing her for, I think it's like for the defamation and all that stuff. Basically, I mean, she's ruined his career just about, and gotten away with it.
I think with everything he got from his UK trial, he may have enough to prove malice on our side.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'll be totally honest with you. One thing I found really interesting about all of this is that I know some real hardened SJWs that literally everything like the Me Too movement or any bandwagon of anything like that, without any proof, they will jump on it hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, yeah.
However, Johnny Depp is the anomaly to that rule. Like, seriously, like I know some people that like blame a man for everything unless he's Johnny Depp. It's really interesting to see how and I think one of the big things with it is because he had all these ex-wives and ex-girlfriends turn around and go, this is bullshit. And I think when that's a situation, that's kind of powerful. And I also think what's interesting is he had a really checkered past. Like he was there when Joaquin Phoenix died. He was obviously had his own drug and drink problems and whatever, but he never shied away from that. So the fact that he's now saying none of this stuff happened, okay, I've been a bad boy in the past, but none of this stuff happened. I think a lot of people are like, I think we're going to actually believe him. But I will say, fair play to Dior, because when everybody else was dropping him, I tell you what, he was on every Sauvage poster over here at Christmas. Like you couldn't walk 5 feet without seeing his picture on a billboard or a bus stop or in the shopping centres and stuff. Anywhere that sold cosmetics and on aftershaves, his picture was there. And I remember thinking, fair play that you didn't buckle to the hate mob, because this is how this stuff needs to be sorted. You need to stand up and go, until I get some evidence, I'm not having this crap. It's not happening.
Well, it's funny. You talk about courtrooms. We could be in a courtroom right now if you want. Watch this. Boom. Court is now in session.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah. There's a little trick for OBS, and what I say, Xavier, we were messing around last night, and I was like, I can you imagine being in a courtroom and then you just like judge like picks up his like a toy on his desk, he's like, meow. Meow. Like, what are you doing? I'm sorry, you're very boring. I'm gonna go do this now.
I present you the People's Exhibit A. What?
Did you? I don't suppose any of you got so Statistical Zero, bless his heart, has got his own YouTube channel now, and he was doing some streams, and he asked me to go on yesterday, and I said, yeah, cool, I'll go on. He had a power outage like 10 minutes before he was going to end.
Oh.
Yan and I were left on the stream.
Lord.
We didn't want to like just go off of it because it meant that this stream was live with no one on it. We had nothing to say. We started showing his audience our new coffee table and talking.
Statistical zero, home of fine coffee table reviews.
The funny thing was, he actually messaged me and he was like, it couldn't have happened to a better person though. He went like, everyone knows you of making a comic about a slapstick genius, and then something so slapstick happens. And we were like, oh yes, so what should we talk about? Okay. So it was just literally just read. I couldn't share anything in the chat to like make, I couldn't share a video or anything because I had no controls.
Right.
It was getting, and I was messaging him going, where you gone? And he's like, we've had a power outage. I can't get back. And I was like, oh, for God's sake. Okay. So that was really like the last 10 minutes. It was just funny. I was chatting away and then all of a sudden I was just on screen big. And I was like, where you gone?
Where'd he go? Oh, snap. I'm here by myself. Yeah.
Yeah. We've all done that though. I mean, I remember when I first started streaming, thinking I'd actually ended the stream, and actually all I'd done was kick myself out. And then someone went, you're still live, right? Am I?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen many people like, okay, goodbye, and they leave, and it's like everybody, who was there is like, did he just leave? Yeah. It's like,
I'm gonna say bad words.
Hey, Charlie, you want to see pure unmitigated like rage?
Go on then.
Okay. So as I told you, I said earlier, how Xavier's been playing, playing games over on the Graded Plays channel on Twitch, right? He decided last week to play Halo 2 Legendary, which is very, 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 very hard, right?
I spent 3.5 hours and I can't get off the first level.
Yeah, 3.5 hours, couldn't get past first level.
Wow.
But the thing is, the game does have checkpoints. Like you get to a certain point and it'll checkpoint for you, right? So he spent, 20 minutes trying to get past this one little part? Roughly?
In total, it took over an hour.
Well, I know in total, I'm talking about this one part where, before you died. It's
it was like 25, 30 minutes, and I finally got through it.
Yeah, he said, he was very happy. Like, yes. The chat was like, you did it. Let's go, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, it didn't checkpoint.
Oh, no.
He did all that. Okay, the clip will speak for itself, okay? Let's go play this way. Here you go.
Ah! Mother fuck!
We've got orders in the Fort Pelican.
Fucking dirt! Fucking God! Fucking fuck!
Oh God!
Yeah,
I've been there. I got so one of the best games I've played in the last couple of years is Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
And I love that game. And I got to a point where I couldn't get any further. Like, you can't get any further unless you go back, and you have to do it goes in a really weird order. It doesn't go linear at all. So you have to go back and do something else. And then as I went back and did that bit, this shitty little droid came along and I can't remember what it was, came along, stole my lightsaber and my droid. And I was like, now I'm pissed. So anyway, Jan gets in from work. It's 6:00 at night. I'm still sat on the sofa in my pajamas, right? The same way he left me in the morning. He's like, what are you doing? And I went, some little horrible thing stole my lightsaber and my droid, and I had to start all over again. And he looked at me and he went, am I really having this conversation with a 36-year-old woman? And I went, yes. Yes, you are. And the thing was, it was all part of the game, but I had it set on really hard, so it got to me quicker than it actually should have done. And I thought I'd actually done something wrong. So I screamed and went ape pretty much the same way as Xavier did.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And as Boss says, Xavier has a strategy of blocking things with his face.
Yes.
And as this is what we call it. It's a Xavier gets owned in video games episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh hey, there's somebody I haven't seen in a long time. What's up, Bears?
The Bears.
Dude, British. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry that Xavier's British.
I'd try an American accent, but you'd hate me even more.
Yeah. So, it's like, why do you do this to us?
Righto. Yeah. Very sorry.
Hey, remember that one game of what you were playing one night, Xavier? You were playing was it Phasmophobia? Charlie.
What was the game about?
He spent an entire episode of Phasmophobia, which is basically ghost hunting. You know, you're gonna.
Oh yes, I now remember.
He spent an entire episode of one. You know, when he was in Phasmophobia, acting like Peter Gilmore.
You fucking ghost! Well, all you. You fucking French, you stupid cunts. One of the questions you could ask the ghosts to upset them to get them to respond is, "Are you French?"
Really?
Okay.
So I just went in there and like, just for some reason, I'm angry Peter Gilmore, so I'm just Peter Gilmore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just did for like an hour.
Yeah.
Mike had no idea why I'm laughing my ass off. I'm having a good time. He wanted me. Mike wanted me to take it a little bit more serious. Like, why?
Yeah.
I got what's it? I got so after years of putting off playing it, I went into one of the secondhand like shops that you can, swap the games and whatever. And I got Battlefield 1, and I knew that I shouldn't have got Battlefield 1. I knew I shouldn't have touched it because I know it's to do with the First World War. I know it's going to wind me up. So anyway, I'm playing it. We've got my Xbox is connected up in the bedroom. Jan's PS5 is connected up in the living room, and so I'm in the bedroom playing on the Xbox, and then he just hears me every 5 minutes like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And then all of a sudden, why am I playing as a carrier pigeon? Right? Because at one point in this game, you do actually play as a carrier pigeon. It's very bizarre. And he come in and he went, "Why did you buy this game? Seriously, why did you buy this game?" I was like, "It was only £1, which is like what, $1.50." And he went, "Yeah, that's why." He went, "Put the game down. You gave yourself a heart attack. Like, you obviously don't like it. Why are you putting yourself through this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I need to put this game down." So I haven't played it again since. But in a first-person shooter game, why the hell would you play as a carrier pigeon? It's the most random thing I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, that Battlefield 1 isn't exactly historically accurate if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, there are bits in there that do kind of wind me up.
Isn't there like was it they have a chick who's in there?
The cyborg.
Who has cybernetics. I'm like,
Oh, I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
I didn't get that far.
She's got a prosthetic arm, which, yes, they had, mechanical prosthetic arms back then, but this is basically Guts from Berserk. She's grabbing stuff with it, and like it's like 99% effective.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a real arm. This one works just as good.
I didn't get that far. I basically played the first tank mission, and the fact that the tank wasn't historically accurate, I rage quit. So
fuck you. This tank doesn't leave this
5.
tread pattern.
Battlefield 5 is what the boss says.
that one.
Bears asks if Xavier plays Elden Ring when? Well, if you go back a couple weeks, that actually happened already.
My brother Potato came down and spent a week with me, and we played Elden Ring when it came out.
Yep. They spent an hour trying to beat the Tree Sentinel with no gear.
Micah told him that he couldn't do it; that it wasn't possible. So Potato's like, "Well, I'm going to do it." And he got him like halfway down to where his pattern changes. And this is like first level. We haven't leveled up at all. We just came out of the tutorial area, and is like, okay, this might be the best we can do. So we went. We learned a little bit more about mechanics of the game. We still hadn't gotten to where we could level up yet. I think we got a little bit of gear. Then we went back and fought him again. We almost beat him. Then Potato goes home and just to prove a point, builds a different type of character and does it, at first level anyway, right out of the tutorial area, just because he wanted to prove he could.
I haven't played it yet, but I have heard it's very, very good.
Yeah. It's a very good game. Like I haven't played it myself, but I've seen several friends play it, and these are people who don't really like the Souls games per se, but they really enjoy this. So I don't know if it's the setting or
Jan's been playing Call of Duty Cold War, and he really liked that. But I ended up. So yeah, we got him. I got him a PS5 for Christmas. And I was really lucky. I put my name down on one of like the electrical stores over here, and they just phoned us up one day and went, yeah, your PS5's in if you want to come get it. So we went and got it, and in work on Monday, I was telling the kids, oh yeah, I got my husband a PS5 for Christmas, and they were all like, whoa. And it was so funny because later on in sort of after Christmas, we was walking around like the local sort of area where we live, and I don't live far from where I work. I always bump into kids, and they went, oh, is this your husband, miss? And I'm like, yeah. And then they went, she got you a PS5, didn't she? And he went, yeah. And they were like, ooh. It was like the little, the aliens out of Toy Story.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like that. And it was just, I went, you got street cred now to them because you got PS5.
I gotta ask this though. Was the time in between, you putting your name down on that list versus getting the call that it's ready long enough that you actually had to think, did I do that? PS5, what?
No, I knew he wanted one for ages and he was trying to get one. So when I saw that there was a possibility that I could get one for him, I did promise him it. If I could get it for Christmas, I will do. But you know what? We have pretty much everything in common apart from the fact that I have an Xbox and he has a PlayStation. And that's and it's so mad to think like I've got an Xbox in the room and he's got a PlayStation here, but he just what's one of the first games he plays when he gets the thing out of the box? Bloody Fallout 4. I'm like, that you do not want to play a modern game, one of the modern games I bought you, but I bought him
needed to see the Todd rays in high definition.
What did I buy him? I bought him Call of Duty, Vanguard. Well, that lasted all of 5 minutes. He hated it. And then he literally took it and exchanged it for something else. And yeah, he loves the Fallout 4, but he told me off. I think I've told you guys this story before, but I've got Fallout 4 on the Xbox, and he came in and he was watching me play. He was like, where's Codsworth? And I went, oh, he disappeared a couple of levels back because he said he couldn't work with me anymore and just went away. And he went, you lost Codsworth because he said you were immoral, because obviously it's all done by morality and things, isn't it? I went, yeah, I don't know why. And then he went, I'm just going to sit here and watch you play for 10 minutes. I went, okay. So anyway, I'm playing away. And then he's going to me, use your VATs. Because there was like one of the big burly guys coming towards me. I've forgotten what their names are now. And then he goes, use your VATs on them. I was like, no. I just took a load of jet and went up with this massive hammer and was smacking it over the head. He went, do you know what a VAT is? I was like, no. He went, and he showed me how to use it. He went, hang on a second. Is this when Codsworth disappeared on you? I went, yeah. He went, so basically what you've been doing is you've been taking drugs and smacking things over the head with a hammer. And that's probably why he's left you, because you're an axe-wielding drug addict. So that's why he's left you. And I went, oh, I was just like taking this jet and smacking things. I thought that's what you're meant to do. He was like, no, you're meant to play this game morally. And I was like, that's boring. So
yeah, you're supposed to just you play the game how you feel like, and you get there how you get there. It's that's why jet addiction is a thing that can happen, and it is a detriment.
That's why he left me, because I got addicted to jet and I wouldn't help myself. So he left.
That sounds like, that's like, you're talking about playing it, one of my favorite games ever is Red Dead Redemption, right? And of course, it has the morality thing, but that usually only comes from the, doing the missions a certain way, certain interactions. So, I've always, tried to play it as good as possible. I won't try to be the good guy, right? But and especially in a game that's inspired, that's got the GTA kind of, mechanics and things like that. Of course, every once in a while, you just want to go on a murder spree, right? Huh. So you can imagine, like, here's Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Everybody in town's like, hey, Mr. Marston, blah, blah, blah. And then I start shooting everybody inside. It's
stop!
Like, I found a woman, tie her up, put her on the train tracks.
Oh, man, if I could find some stick of dynamite and an alarm clock, we'd be doing that, too.
I did find the dynamite. Got on a high water tower and started throwing it on the town.
But he showed me how to use VATs, and I still don't use them because I think it's boring. I'd rather, go up and smack someone around the head with a hammer.
The cool thing about VATS is there's at least in Fallout 3 in New Vegas, I don't know if it's in 4, is Mysterious Strangers, one of the perks you can get.
Mhm.
And when you use VATS, you have an opportunity where very rarely a mysterious stranger will appear in your VATS and do 100% guaranteed headshots on stuff.
Mm.
And it'll so you have an opportunity where I was targeting this guy. Well, he shot that guy, but shot this guy while he was there.
Mm-hmm. You know, that reminded me. You know what that reminds me of? I remember it was this old JonTron video where he was talking about like the worst boss fights in video games, and one of them was for Fallout 3, and it was the final boss. And he says, you know, I'm gearing up and I'm ready to take on this final boss. And he like just happens to get the perfect shot and shoots him in the head, and he dies instantly.
Oh.
He's like, what? That was it? That was it? All this buildup for nothing? It was so funny. Speaking of, since you mentioned Xbox, we might as well bring this up.
We got stories.
We do have stories.
Ooh.
Give our banner here. So I just wanted to. So this is a thing that's happening. Apparently. Yeah. I'm going to give this this particular site credit because where's it at? Here we go. Because this is the image they use.
Oh God.
Master Chief Booty Officer.
Yeah. So apparently, was it third episode?
Third episode.
Uh-huh. So you basically get a full shot of his butt. And it said, so you thought taking the helmet off was bad. You want to skip this episode.
I don't know if you've seen the Halo TV series or not. That's been on Paramount Plus. I don't know what streaming series.
I don't think we've got it over here yet, and if we have, I haven't seen it. I know that Jan would definitely want to see this. That's why I don't think it's over here yet.
Because it's not over there because Jan would want to watch it.
Yeah.
No, he would. No, I mean, if it was out over here, he would have already have been watching it because he loves Halo. That's why I don't think it's out yet.
The first episode is available on YouTube for free. It's not very good.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
They total deviation from the actual video game lore.
Now, to be completely fair, they did say they were going to do this from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's a bait and switch. Like everyone was excited and they get there like, what the hell is this? It's like,
yeah.
Oh, so they're going to just, do whatever they want. Okay, so I don't have to watch this.
Exactly, yeah. Like this particular, like instead of, if you know anything about the Halo, story, instead of like, the Spartans are the literal super soldiers of the UNSC. They are the heroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were basically created, we need these guys to win war,
They're technically fire and forget. You point a Spartan in a direction and you just wait until they win.
Yeah. In this version, apparently the UNSC doesn't know what they created, and they said like we have to be prepared for when they eventually decide to go rogue and take over.
Right, but that's not what they're designed to do.
Yeah,
no, they're super. They have incredible loyalty to the chain of command, but also above all, their mission to save humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can tell these people do not understand, even if they got the lore, and even if they didn't take it directly from the video games, that's fine. It's the fact that they just disrespected the lore altogether. Why
do they do this though? This has always been my real gripe with all this sort of stuff. Why are you calling it Halo? Like, just call it something else. And then if people turn around and go, "Oh, that's very similar to Halo," you'll be like, "Well, it's not." So that's the end of it. But instead they call it Halo, but it's nothing like the actual game.
Yeah.
Bears, what do you think the N stands for in UNSC? Oh, wait, that's United Nations.
Yeah. So, yeah. And like Boss says, if anything, Spartans are loyal to a fault. That's another thing, Charlie, in this show. Like I said, I'm not really going to go over this too much. I'm just like, it's like for some reason they thought, hey, you know, it'd be a great idea after the face reveal that we shouldn't have done for Master Chief. The show's ass. Yeah.
But why would you have your backside out in combat? Like, I don't get that.
Well, apparently they were doing I guess they were doing refitting his armor or something like that, and
he was right now. Master Chief is doing a thing where he's technically gone rogue because he met an insurrectionist. Is what they're calling, a technical insurrectionist. Just somebody was on a planet and the Covenant showed up, and they weren't a part of the UNSC. And he didn't kill her because it was just a little girl. It was like, now Master Chief is on a quest to find himself, and comes to find out that he's got like an Order 66 implant, and he's gonna remove it himself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is fucking stupid. The fact is,
as Boss says, there you go. That's all you need to know. Like
a lot of stuff I've been getting from it has been, summaries from other people and reports. Like Eckhart's Ladder, he watched it. If you've seen his channel, he fucking loves Halo lore. He's a fucking expert on that shit.
I mean, the dude has done. Charlie's this guy that he just, Eckhart's Ladder. He's literally broke down. You know how, like, you're being a historian, you can actually go and break down the battle of certain things that happened in World War II and World War I.
This moment when this ship did this, this is when the battle changed.
Yeah, this dude literally like does that for like, Halo.
Yeah.
Like, this is what happened in this battle, and X, Y, Z, ABC. Like, that's how into it he is, right?
Yeah. This is they lost this battle, but should they have? Here's what happened. Here's how they could have won.
Mm-hmm. There you go. As Boss says, he said, I thought Halo was about aliens and humanity duking it out over super weapons.
It is not. It is about Master Chief finding himself in a very cruel world for some reason.
Oh, and don't forget that the female Spartan that they invented for this show is better Master Chief than Master Chief is.
They gave her Master Chief's persona, and you never see her without her. So far, I don't think you've seen her without her helmet off.
Probably once when she suited up the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's a better Chief than Chief is because,
But that was always the point, was that except for a handful of times in any of the books, only the adaptation of Halo, The Flood, has Master Chief out of uniform when he becomes Master Chief. Once he has the armor, that's the only time where he's out of armor, just in a normal uniform. Otherwise, his armor is his uniform. He is always in armor because he is the Spartan. He is.
If you put, that's the reason in Halo 2 where the joke is, I thought you said there were any cameras and I thought you were going to wear something nice. Yeah, that's the joke. Like everybody else is in their dress, Navy uniform. Chief is in his armor.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
This is what, and also I've said for a very long time is this just makes women look bad as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like genuine. I don't want to see this crap. I mean, I'm quite happy to just play a game. I'll happily play as a male character. It doesn't bother me. Like I've never just loaded up a game and when they ask you to build your character, straight away gone and built a female character. It doesn't interest me. And most girls who are gamers, it doesn't interest them either.
Yeah.
If I have to build my own character, depending on the game it is, I build a cute girl so I could stare at a really cute ass for the time I'm playing.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to the lefties, that means that secretly I want to be a woman. If I had
And so I got an article, like I said, I'm not going to read this article.
I have something to look at when I wake up in the morning. Hey.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to read this article because it kind of speaks for itself. It just tells you what happened.
I'm losing you.
Huh?
I'm losing you. Tell me I'm not the only one.
What?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can't hear him. It's like he's roboting.
Go out and come back in.
Who, me?
No, Xavier.
Oh.
Bears in the chat. You gotta find yourself. My brother in Christ, why don't you find yourself some bitches?
Master Chief needs a girlfriend. Okay. So yeah, I got a tie-in article for this. Let me. Xavier's
Hello?
been waiting for this one. You can hear me now?
Nope. Hold on. Speak.
Okay.
Still
Any
not
better?
working.
Why'd you kick me
We're
out of
gonna
my...
fix this.
Why did he kick you out?
Kick me out of
I'm
my
gonna
own
have
show.
to
He's the
take-
one with the problem. He kicks me out.
Leave the room and then come back in.
I got to leave my own damn... All right. I will be right back. Tell him I'll be right back.
He's going to be right back, everybody.
Yeah, it's.
So can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so it's not that like now. Can you hear? Go on, speak, Optimus.
Hello.
I can hear you now.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Now give my spot. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Can you hear me, Xavier? No. So can you hear him or not?
No, that's.
You were literally the only one having a problem. If anybody should have left, it was you.
Charlie couldn't hear you.
Yes, she could.
Yes, I could.
She was saying the whole time. I can hear him fine.
I was like, I can hear you. Okay.
I thought you were saying that to me. No, that reminds me of when I worked at a McDonald's when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
Two kids walk up. One of them speaks to me in Spanish. The other, I guess, was his interpreter. Or his a relative or brother or whatever, friend. He says to me, "Do you speak Spanish?" In Spanish, and I say no. And the other kid's like, "What? Your friend was asking me if I speak Spanish." I was telling him no.
Mm-hmm. So to kind of tie into the last article. Oh yeah, I got to change the banner on this one because this is something we're going to make fun of a lot. Listicles. You know, CBR and Screen Rant and all those tied together sites, they do these articles every freaking day. And they're usually wrong because they get so much wrong in their listicles. It is so hilarious. And then you find out some of the people who've been doing these listicles. Charlie, you remember a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you remember this. There was this dude who kept going, he was having a go at Shane Davis and Yanzi. And he was like talking about, he was the one who was saying, why don't you give us a review copy of your book? You know?
Oh God, yeah. But I had, he was doing the same thing to me.
Yeah.
He was saying about how the art on my book is traced and all this sort of stuff. And how it started, he was like, what do you mean this book is officially licensed? And someone went, it's officially licensed by the Chaplin estate and like linked it. And he was like, well, I would need to see this closer. Maybe if someone sent me a free, like a reader copy, and I went, no one's sending you a free copy. No one else has had a free copy. And I was like, you absolute shitbag. That's all you're hanging in these threads for.
Yeah, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah. It's like, wow. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, but the thing is, this ain't one of his particular ones, but this is, when he talks about he writes articles, these are the articles he writes.
Oh, God.
He does listicles. So he does not do anything.
Yeah, if you want a review copy, buy it. All you have to do is pay for the book. Let us know it's a review copy, and I'll be happy to scroll in black Sharpie on the cover review copy.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, as well, with these, I'll tell you another reason I've stopped arguing with people on Twitter. I'm not even sure I'm arguing with real people. Like, for example, I swear 50% of the people I have arguments with on a daily basis are bots.
Could be.
Could be just NPCs.
Yeah. It could be just that they have bot behavior just because they have no personality.
Possibly. Yeah.
It's what we call around here the cab theorem. And the cab theorem is not cab is gay, Lamau. That's a different theorem.
No, that's not a theory. That's a scientific fact.
Yeah, we found the gay gene and it's named cab. But
yeah, I think that's more like an axiom or something.
Yeah.
The cab axiom.
Yeah, but the cab theorem is that people, especially people who are the generation after our generation, so after Gen X, right? That now, Charlie's, I don't mean this the way it's going to sound because I know you're a fan of Friends, Yeah.
But
it's not a bad thing for Friends. It's a bad thing for the people who did this, is
Yeah.
that they watched shows like Friends and Seinfeld and stuff, and thought that's how real people interact.
Oh yeah, and also,
Mhm.
you know, when you watch Friends when you're younger,
Mhm.
you think like, oh wow, when I grow up, life's going to be like that. Sorry,
Yeah.
but no one
Mhm.
that doesn't work can afford to live in an apartment like that in the middle of New York. Like,
Exactly.
and the things that happen in it, you start going, actually,
Mhm.
no, that can't be a thing. So no, I do understand what you mean. I mean, I love
Yeah.
it for the comedy value of it, but there
Oh
are
yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
who say they take it quite literally.
I mean, like you're telling me, what was it? Was there like Phoebe worked? She worked at the cafe, right? At the coffee shop.
Rachel,
Was it Rachel who worked at the coffee
yeah,
shop? Okay.
yeah.
So she worked at the coffee shop. You tell me she could afford that rent?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You know,
That must be the best damn coffee in the world. Goddamn.
I
Yeah.
can tell you now that I am on a substantial amount more than someone that works in a coffee shop, and the apartment that Jan and I have is smaller
Yeah. Yeah.
than the
Exactly.
apartment that they have in London. So yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like that they they would be doing, would they be on the Marvel plan, right? Be like 5 of them in like one little box, shoebox of a apartment, like paying,
Yeah.
At this point, I'm surprised that Marvel doesn't own the apartment, and it's like this is company housing.
So anyway, Xavier was looking forward to this listicle because he said, "I can't wait because I know it's going to be terrible."
Because you and I read the Halo books. Like I have most
Yeah.
of them on my shelf.
All right, come back
The
this
only
way.
ones I'm missing are
Come
the
back over
new
here.
ones.
Xavier, come back over
I
here.
love the fact the title is the best 10 Halo books to read if you like the TV series. Well, if the TV series is terrible, surely then there can't be 10 books.
Yeah.
And also, if it's 3 episodes in, how
Yeah.
the hell could you compare it to anything?
I'm willing to bet one of them's going to be Cryptum. The books, the Forerunner trilogy, the things that if you are confused by Halo will only confuse you even more because these books are purposely confusing and weird and nobody cares about them.
Exactly. So here we go.
Like,
so you got
who's Born Stellar?
Yeah. So, like I said, 10 best Halo books to read if you like the TV series. Which, like you said, I think there's only been 3 episodes. So good luck with that. And of course they show a thing from the series. No, that's not from the series. That's from
That's from one of the advertisement campaigns.
Yeah, exactly. So you ready? Okay, Paramount here, has been released for some, and the fans have noticed. So some of the many ways that has departed from the game's lore. No shit. The show has been stated to take place in the Silver timeline, according to Halopedia on Twitter. I like how Halopedia had just like make up a name for it. It's like Silver is fine. It's like, okay, which allows the show to make its own decisions with regards to character arcs and story beats. That means that they disregarded all the lore and they don't care.
And let's be real. Knowing that in advance is fine because now everyone can be like, I'm not going to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch some clips and we'll decide after that.
Yeah.
But even the thing that they're trying to do, which is they've telegraphed in episode 1 what they're trying to do, they're doing that very badly. Yeah.
So here we go.
Like nothing has any gravitas to it. There's no wonder. It's all these people are bad, and the good people are also bad, and the only person you should care about is John. By the way, here's his face.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. By the way, you shouldn't like John either. Go like this other person we just invented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John's not as good as this other person, but John's the main character.
Yeah. So, while some fans might take issue with the changes being made, it's fair to say that the series is in a different medium and would need some different structure. No. That's not fair to say. That's stupid. But this applies just as well to many canon Halo novels, most of which took liberty with the Halo game universe by utilizing different character settings and exploring the lore. You used the key word there, exploring. Adding to, making better, not disregarding and just starting our own thing. So the first one is Halo Glasslands. I don't think I've read this one.
I have it.
Have you read it?
Yes.
So this is perhaps the most recommended novel in the Halo universe and provides not only more backstory on the political situation with the USNSC and Earth as a whole, also gives more exploration of important backstory. Glasslands also gives more information about Halsey, the doctor behind the Spartan program. But perhaps the more core to this novel is the way it explores the Spartans who face off with far more advanced Covenant forces in one of the best known missions in the series. This novel also shows the horrors of the titular Glasslands, outer worlds which were glassed by Covenant attacks and all but wiped off the map.
Give me just a minute. I'm going to go grab the book off the shelf because that doesn't even sound like a description of the book. That just describes that these are what Halo books are about. What's that?
Mm-hmm. He sounded like an old man getting up, didn't he? He's like, gotta pick up everything to get out. You know.
Here we go. Back of the book. Though the Covenant has collapsed, the war is far from over. So this is after the war.
So this is after the war. Okay.
Finally, after a long and brutal war that saw billions slaughtered on Earth and her colonies, peace seems possible. But though the fighting stopped, the war is far from over. It's just gone underground. The UNSC's feared and secret office of naval intelligence recruits Kilo 5, a team of ODSTs and a Spartan and eccentric AIs. This is part of the Kilo 5 series.
Mm-hmm.
To accelerate the Sangeli insurrection, while the Arbiter, the new leader of a broken covenant, tries to stave off civil war among his divided people. This is probably the book where the UNSC Infinity first debuted.
Mm-hmm. So it's really not a background book.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see.
Now this one, fuck you for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
this is literally like if you. This is where you start. Like you want to read Halo novels. This is literally the first book you read. Period.
Yeah, you start with Fall of Reach. Yeah, Fall of Reach gives you everything: the story of the Spartans, how they got there, this and that and the other. So yeah, I don't. Okay, yeah, okay.
I really like the Master Chief John. I like these other two people that hang out with him, the Spartans. I wish there were more than 3 Spartans. Didn't they think they were going to need more? Oh, I should read the Fall of Reach. Well, this isn't how it happened.
Yeah.
Are these books all written and created by the team that wrote and created the original Halo games?
The person, I think it was Eric Nyland, did the original series, original books, right?
And I believe he was contracted to do that, and he did a really good job.
And he was basically given. They were like, "Hey, here's everything." They gave him every piece of lore they had created for the game. So he basically, and the reason they pegged him is because his specialty was combat war novels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they said, "Okay, this might be a good fit." And honestly, I think he did a good job.
Well, it makes sense to get someone whose background is something like that to write a novel, which even though it's it's a fictional battle, it's still battle.
Right, exactly.
All of the best ones were written by him.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some good books by other authors in the series, but he has always been the most consistent. Because the person that got to did the novelization of the first game, it kind of reads like imagine somebody did a novelization of a Let's Play.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reads like. Because okay, Master Chief is going into this level where you fight the Flood. He's using the wrong fucking weapons. Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
Hey, Stato.
Yeah, I thought I'd say, hey, Stato. He's on a quick work break. Wanted to pop in. But we hope we're able to keep you entertained. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I want. And I like this. He's made a good point. It's like, I don't care about Laura Lorvan. I care about Superman. I don't care about Martha Wayne. I care about Batman. I don't care about the hoe that made the Spartans. I care about John 117.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And like Angry Ball says, it's like, that makes sense. Recommend books that have nothing to do with in common with the show.
Oh, and
well, let's read this. Let's read. I want to kind of get through this. So it says,
I told you. I fucking told you.
What?
I saw Cryptum on that list.
Oh, did I scroll? Yeah. Okay, so the Fall of Reach is one of the earliest Halo. One of the. It is the early. This is the first one.
This is the first one you read.
Nothing there's no earliest Halo.
This
is the first one. There's no one before this one.
No, literally, there is no book that takes place before other than the Forerunner trilogy that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah. I mean, when in timeline, okay, they'd be correct, but in actual publication, this was
Yeah.
the first one. Okay, it is such a good piece of franchise history. It is written as a prequel to Combat Evolved video game and gives a straightforward history of John 117's John 117's history.
Yeah, but that's like the last fifth of
No.
the book.
No, this sentence.
Yeah, that reads really awful.
I'm going to say the teacher in you is just screaming right now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's it's like I was reading something on a website earlier, and in one sentence they used the word court 4 times. This happened at the court, and then at the court there was this that also happened at court, and then there was court. I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
Find a different word for God's sake.
In a sentence and in a paragraph, you really only have to use the word once, you know?
Yeah, you find alternatives for the rest of it. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, including how he came to have his iconic armor in his first meeting with Cortana. See, you know how, Xavier, you know how I know they didn't read this novel? This next paragraph. Unlike most other novels, this one doesn't dwell very long on the brutal indoctrination and experimentation that young John 117 goes through during the Spartan program. Yes, it does!
That's literally the first 2/3 of the book.
Yeah. They literally talk about, and they talk about the morality of it. I mean, remember, Captain Keyes is like, "What are you doing to these children? Why did we kidnap them? What is going on over here? Why did you operate on them? Why are you putting?"
When Keyes came back, because for some reason they brought him back, and they're in that underground facility, and he's like, "The Spartans are in there. I don't see anything. Watch this." And Mendez just speaks into a microphone, "Capture the flag," and they just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Stole the flag within like 2 minutes and then vanished like ninjas. Like, should we be doing this? I don't.
Yeah. He's like, I feel a little bad about this. These are children. How old was John when they took him? Was he 6?
Like 6, yeah.
Yeah, so they literally kidnapping children to like make them super soldiers. Oh, by the way, apparently he's John 1117.
Oh God. Guys, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna have to shoot because I've got to get to my parents for 5:30.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. It was a good catching up with you.
I would love to come back again. You do this
Anytime.
again and I'm around 100%. I've had a lot of fun.
Anytime you want to come on, you let me know.
I will do. And thanks everyone in the chat, and I'll see you all soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
But
so yeah, let's go.
But even the morality of being a commander, where Mendez is having that speech with John, where because was it who was the other member of the original blue team that sacrificed himself so they could get off the ship?
Oh gosh, I know who you're talking about.
It wasn't Fred, because Fred was the red team.
Fred's still kicking. Yeah,
Fred's alive.
Yeah, because I can't think of his name, but he was the one they said that he would have more than likely been the leader of blue team.
Yeah, he should. Yeah. They had at his funeral. Mendez gave John the speech about the difference between lives spent and lives wasted.
Yeah.
Like that's like the morality
Sam.
of a soldier in command. Yeah, Sam.
Sam, yeah.
Thank you.
So what is with these people and their asinine thought that we give a shit about the world and the side characters to the point that we need a prequel parallel show about said side characters that is completely devoid of the main character and made the franchise popular in the first place? I mean, yeah. There's only Americans on the pen and all is right in the world. That's Gary Gunhaver. Yeah, that sounds more accurate. Yeah. That was his name, Gary Gunhaver. But yeah, this novel is one of the easiest to read, providing fans with an easy point of entry into the. Yeah, it should be an easy point of entry because it's the first one.
Oh yeah, it's really easy, and it literally just says one day the Covenant showed up and said it's the will of our gods to exterminate you, and then we were at war.
Look at this last line in this paragraph. Just dwell on that for a second. Without a lot of in-depth consideration for the universe's implications.
What this tells me, this person didn't even read the wiki synopsis of the book.
Dude,
they read like
they didn't even read the back of the.
Yeah, you read like 2 paragraphs of somebody describing the book.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, okay. Here's the one you were waiting for, Cryptum. You said you knew they were going to touch Forerunner stuff.
Yeah, like Yeah, Cryptum. Yeah, you don't need to read Cryptum. Like, to be
Now,
perfectly honest.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's say that in the context of the show, which is I guess what they were trying to do, is that okay, if you want to know about Forerunner stuff, yeah, you would read Cryptum, but
it's all fucking boring.
Yeah, yeah. So,
like I have a hardback of Cryptum. I have a hardback of Primordium, the second book. I pre-ordered it before I read Cryptum. I did not get the hardback of the third book because I read Cryptum like, this is really fucking boring.
Yeah, because they had switched authors too, hadn't they? At that point.
Greg Bear did both of did the Forerunner trilogy.
You said Greg Bear?
Yeah.
Greg Bear?
Yeah.
Bear?
Oh.
Hey, Bears, what you been up to, man? What's going on, big guy?
Bears, can I call you Greg?
Yeah, like that. But go back to what he said. That was good. It's like chapter 1 is a really easy entry point of this book.
So anyway, you want to start with Cryptum. Mm. That'll tell you everything you need to know about Halo. Who the fuck is Born Stellar? And all the people playing, Halo 4, who the Forerunner trilogy was written specifically for, are like, what the fuck is a Born Stellar?
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah.
I read Cryptum and I still like, who the fuck is Born Stellar? Like, not like who is he? Who is he? But like,
who is he? Who cares?
Yeah, right? Who fucking cares?
So yeah, let me go a quick thing on this. It's like, this is the first book in a 3-part trilogy. It is easily one of the best lore-focused pieces of Halo. This was they read marketing materials on this one, right? Like, the trilogy explores the early days of the Halo universe and provides more information on the Forerunners, hence the Forerunner saga. But fans should be warned that this trilogy isn't for the more casual reader or anybody else.
Yeah.
The trilogy trends towards density, spending a good deal of its space on exploring the society of the Forerunners and how they live. Once the plot points get started, readers are given a long and sad tale of Born Stellar makes eternal lasting, and his exploration of Earth ages before the plot of Halo Combat evolved.
He was on Earth for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think he came to Earth. He's like, this is awful, and took off.
Yeah. Oh, what's this box here? Hi, I'm the Didact. You want to go on a space adventure? Sure. And then they left.
Yeah. Basically, I think that when they showed up, and it's like these are the people who are supposed to take over the mantle of the mantle of responsibility. Ugh.
Also, the librarian's been fucking with them. I can read it all over them.
Yeah. Okay. Halo: The Thursday War. What?
That's in the Kilo 5 trilogy.
It's a follow up to Glasslands.
That one's actually pretty good.
Okay. The story picks up right after the previous entry left off. Without spoiling too much, this novel focuses on the burgeoning civil wars of the Sangheili and human societies, with the story of the Black Ops Spartan team trying to get one of their own back before the war breaks out. This follow-up builds on societal issues that impact both societies and gives a relatively even-handed explanation of both. The overt militarism of the Halo series often becomes very black or white, and the willingness of some of these novels to explore the Covenant from a more generous perspective is refreshing. Well, the thing is, like, they kind of imply even in the early books that these people, the races of the Covenant were indoctrinated.
The Sangheili were victims. The Ungoi, the Grunts, they were victims.
Oh yeah, the Ungoi. Remember, they had to be beaten into submission.
Yeah, I think was it one of the Arbiters? They're mentioned in Halo 2. Was it like the third Grunt Rebellion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They showed that in one of the, I think it's in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Mm-hmm. They show what that Arbiter did. Basically, he showed up on their home planet and glassed it. And that ended the, quote, civil war on High Charity. He basically committed genocide to stop a civil war.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Y'all here acting like I have control over everyone who associates themselves with bears. If that were the case, do you really think I've allowed California to have one on their state flag? That's a good point.
Right. In
Good
my head, that Greg Bear is Berserker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you Greg from now on. I don't care if that's. I know that's not your real name, but
Yeah, that's not your
Greg.
real name.
I'm gonna call you
Yeah.
Greg Zerker.
All right, Halo Renegades. Oh Lord, we're getting into some. We're gonna talk about Guilty Spark, boys.
This book only makes sense if you played any of the Halo games.
Yeah.
So.
This novel is actually a follow-up to the short novella Halo Smoke and Mirrors, but this sequel stands on its own very well. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
The general story follows the crew of a scavenger ship, the Ace of Spades. In the course of an incredibly hard salvage mission into a Forerunner debris field, the crew finds themselves caught between the UNSC and Covenant alike. The story of Renegades is unique how it explores life among humans who aren't in or around the military in the 26th century. The complicated nature of day-to-day life in the midst of a galactic war comes through in quite moment. This book is literally none of those things. This book is about how 343 Guilty Spark decided, I don't want to. I want to do other things besides be a monitor.
Yeah. Also, I was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about that.
And
also, I have feelings for some reason. This is weird.
Well, and also he rediscovered what he was before becoming a monitor. Yeah, he was turned into a monitor. He was turned into a monitor by the Didact, right?
Yeah, he was. One of the humans that hung out with Bornsteller. Which one again? Who the fuck is Bornsteller? No one cares.
Yeah. So, Halo Oblivion.
Now I've actually not read this one.
Okay, so we're gonna assume from what we've seen so far, we're gonna assume it's wrong. But
This is.
Let's see. And another novel focused on Master Chief's story, which that doesn't have anything to do with the show because they don't focus on Master Chief. But anyway, giving him a voice and more to quote, Oblivion supplies a bit more of the adventuring experience the players of the games might want more of. This novel is focused on John and his team's attempt to take control of a disabled Covenant frigate, which is filled with valuable technology. Of course, this turns out to be a trap, as the Spartans must find their way through a wave of Covenant forces, explore a harsh and unforgiving planet, and keep themselves alive. The novel is slightly better at exploring the universe than the previous books, Silent Storm, but it remains an easy introduction to the novels via a John 117 focused story.
But if you don't know who that is, you have... Any Halo book that comes out is going to assume you have a base level of knowledge of the Halo universe. And if I say he's a Spartan, you know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, the second part of...
Bornsteller is now the ISO Didact. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. In the sequel to Cryptum, Primordium continues to follow the long-forgotten history of the Halo universe. Told via flashbacks of the Forerunner AI 343 Guilty Spark, readers are told the long-forgotten history of humanity. You know, she said long-forgotten twice. Aneurysm inducing right now. Long-forgotten history of humanity as it was when the Forerunners were still around. This human perspective helps ground the story that focuses on ancient aliens and epic universe-shattering weapons. As another entry into the Forerunner saga, this novel gives readers a lot to digest, particularly around the deeper lore of the series, such as the things like the mantle of responsibility, which is the responsibility for other species that the Forerunners believe was given to them by an even older and more advanced race. Which has nothing to do with the Halo series.
Before you scroll down, I want to point out that trending now, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 director teases upcoming Knuckles TV series.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. That'll probably be tomorrow's show. That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Then Halo Evolutions. Okay.
Have you read Evolutions?
No, I haven't.
It's a collection of short stories.
Oh, okay. Soren 066 is one of the main characters in the Halo TV series, a defector from the Spartan program. After experiencing significant physical effects from the process of becoming a Spartan, he was disqualified and sent on his way. Evolutions is a collection of short stories that include much of Soren's story.
I forget what happened to him. I think he went back and they gave him something to do.
Yeah, this novel is likely most interesting to fans who have seen the show due to Soren's appearance as John's quote old friend. Their relationship continues to develop on the show, but fans will be able to read more about the intricate and difficult backstory in the collection, as well as other stories that build on similar characters. Okay.
Yeah, but you can't read Evolutions if you haven't read The Fall of Reach, if you haven't read Ghosts of Onyx, because a couple of those short stories are about Spartan 3s.
Yeah. You see, why are these people obsessed with what's going on in the world and lore? Because they're trying to justify their list. That's really all it gets down to.
All this stuff is important because that's all the Halo fans are bitching about is it diverges from the lore and, all this history of the world. Like, well, here are some books that do all that, so you don't need it in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people watch the show and read these books like, this isn't how it happened.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what this is. Halo Oblivion Arbiter. Stop right there, human scum. Pay the Covenant a fine or serve your
then maybe that's the one where Grey Team accidentally kills that planet of Sangheili and kills like 1 billion people, and to pay the penance they have to be space sheriffs.
Oh. MC, I'd rather die. Arbiter than pay you with your blood. I've grunts tougher than you. That's good. Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah, Halo Mortar Dictata. Like a fruitata?
I don't know. How does my dictate?
In the final entry in the Kilo 5 trilogy, Mortar Dictata follows up on Glasslands and the Thursday War by bringing the Spartan group home after the end of the Covenant War. This novel is focused on the boiled over tensions of human society that have been released by the end of the Endless War.
As I understand it, the Oni basically ran the world due to the state of emergency by the Covenant War. So there was no civilian government anymore. It was all military.
Right.
Which kind of made sense. It was a state of emergency. Before the Cole Protocol was introduced, they'd actually banned civilian slipspace travel. Like, all slipspace travel is controlled by the military.
Right.
To prevent people from leading to human worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So now that the war is over, the state of emergency is over.
Yeah.
Now you have to give that power back, but Oni doesn't want to give that power back because Oni runs shit.
Yeah.
And Kilo 5 works directly for Oni, the head of Oni.
Yeah. So let's see. With the Spartan program that created John 117 and the others has a long history of ethical and moral violations that are intended on some level to show that what humanity is willing to do for hope in a war that is against an unbeatable enemy. But this novel shows the exact horrors and pains that surviving families go through and questions its necessity. Which, yeah, that's fine, but what does that have to do with the show?
I know the Kilo 5 story is really good. The Spartan there is a Spartan 2. Mm-hmm. She was pulled aside by Oni, I think, early on. And I don't remember the details of her personal story.
Yeah.
Her dad figured out that her quick clone was a quick clone.
Yeah.
And knew that she'd been kidnapped.
Right.
And became an insurrectionist because he was trying to find his kid. And so one of the missions that she was sent on as a part of Kilo 5 was kill this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And she finds out that's my dad.
Yeah.
And, interesting things started out because Kilo 5, thanks to one of the Forerunner engineers, the fucking floaty blobby guys, they have a Pelican with a slipspace drive.
Mm.
So the Pelican slowly grows into its own little ship. It's awesome.
That's actually cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Like, look at all the cool shit you could have made a show about instead of doing the bullshit that you did.
Right.
Why do you have the entire Forerunner trilogy on here? Even the people that like Halo don't care about the Forerunner trilogy.
You're right.
Like, everything we need to know about the Forerunners is legitimately in the games, and
And, I mean, don't they? I mean, from what I'm hearing so far about the show, all they're doing is like talking about the technology of the Forerunner, not really, who
What the
cares
hell?
about
Yeah,
their.
have you even decided? Have they even decided of this? I haven't watched episodes 2 or 3. I don't even know how in depth they've gone. It's like, what were the Forerunners? We found this ancient alien tech. Well, who owns it? I don't know.
I don't see a sign on it, so it must be ours.
Who invented this? Clearly alien technology. I did.
Yeah, it's me, Austin. It was me all along. But yeah, so that's the list. I'm not going to read the last one because, like you said, they're included stuff that has nothing to do with the show.
Yeah, this is.
It doesn't make the show better. It doesn't enhance anything. It's like
As someone that read all that stuff, even when it showed up in Halo 4, I'm like, why?
right.
Also, the fact that the fact that I now understand all this stuff actually makes Halo 4's story even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've explained this to you, I'm explaining this to her. The librarian was a Forerunner. She was like a genetic engineer, a geneticist that was like supreme in her art.
Yeah.
To where genetic memory, that bullshit they pull at Assassin's Creed, that's a thing in Halo, and she can create that to such an extent that the Forerunner trilogy literally starts with 2 humans that the librarians set into motion like generations ago, have genetic memory of standing in a room with each other that they've never met, they've never seen each other before, and Born Stellar, and the Didact. And sometime in the next 1,000 years, this is going to happen and kickstart all of this stuff that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Well, in Halo 4, John stands in front of the librarian, and the librarian said that you are the culmination of so much work to make sure that you are here at this moment when you were needed with everything you need. Your ancilla and your battle skin, which is Forerunner speak for your armor and your AI.
Yeah.
Which means that millions of years ago, the librarian set forward a plan that would eventually cause John 117 to become into being, become an extremely powerful and skilled warrior, and be outfitted with an AI and a powerful suit of battle armor that the AI integrates into. And then be there in front of her when the Didact comes back.
Yep.
Meaning that literally everything that's happened in Halo up to that point has been specifically engineered by the librarian. Of course, that also means that all of the bad shit, including the release of the Didact, was accidentally engineered by her.
Yeah.
Like, this is very much Suicide Squad, where the Suicide Task Force S is to deal with off-the-books problems. Oh no, one of the members of Task Force S is attacking the city and gone rogue. It's a good thing we have Task Force X to deal with it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, no, stop.
But yeah, that was a thing that happened. So
Greg Zerker in the chat. Virgin Forerunners versus the Chad 5 Runners. Well, why didn't you write about those?
Yeah. Come on, Greg.
Your best-selling trilogy that you on the New York Times bestsellers list.
Yep. Come on, Greg. You got a few more in you. Wouldn't that be funny? Like, the next Halo series, like the next trilogy is like, after finally, putting an end to the threat of the Forerunners and the Flood, all of a sudden a new enemy has showed up, the 5 Runners.
It opens up with a dedication to Optimus and Xavier. Fuck you. What?
Heard what you said. But yeah, so I think we're going to end it there. I had a few more articles to go through, but we'll do those. We can kind of carry that over tomorrow because it all fits together. We're going to talk about the Sonic movie and talk about how Ken Penders is a crazy man.
I think I'll go see it before we talk about it.
That would be a great idea. That way you can have a little more insight into the movie and all that good stuff.
Actually, as soon as we wrap up, I'll see when it's playing. See if I can work that in before I go stream on Twitch. I will be on Twitch, hopefully, today at 5 p.m. We're going to play Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction.
There you go.
because it doesn't make me angry.
Yeah, he's not going to play Halo on a legendary, which I can't blame him. Can't blame him.
No.
But,
I do want to let everyone know that there will sometimes be night shows.
Yeah.
Just when we have free nights, and sometimes some people's schedules just work better at night, so we'll accommodate there. Check our Twitter, because we're going to update our stream schedule every week.
Yep.
So you'll know in advance when we have morning shows versus when we have night shows.
Yep.
It won't be like before, whereas it's great at doing a show tonight, an hour before showtime. Hey, we're doing a show tonight.
Yeah. Well, there will be schedules. We will have it all worked out and scheduled and everything. Starting today, you check the graded account. We'll have a schedule like pretty much every day of the week. There'll be a morning show kind of thing. But until then, I would like to, because there's two recommendations. If you don't, I think everybody here probably knows who Nick Recadia is. Go check out Nick Recadia if you want to hear more about the Amber Heard trial going on right now. But if you want to watch some, cool gameplay, somebody who's a really cool person to me, been a good friend of mine for many years, I'm going to do this every day where I recommend somebody, basically a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel to check out. Go check out my friend Gwen Blanket Spectre. She is a really cool person. And what's the other person? Because more than likely she will roll right into our other friend, Killer Tofu. He starts about 1 o'clock because she ends about 1 and he starts about 1. It's like, hello, Nine Realms Publishing. You showed up right on time as we're leaving. But be sure to check us out. We'll be here tomorrow around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We started a little late because we were doing some catch up and stuff like that with Charlie's because we hadn't talked to her in a while. So it was a good time. Tomorrow, more than likely, will just be me and Xavier, just hanging out doing this cool stuff. But yeah, we will be here tomorrow. And I'm glad that like I said, I'm glad to be back. It's fun. I'm glad that we're back. So yeah, have a good time. Once again, like I said, check out Gwen on her Twitch channel. I would definitely recommend checking out Rackets if you want to keep up with the Amber Heard stuff. Because I think that's going to be a really interesting trial. There's going to be a lot of shit said in that thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's going to be.
Like I said, people have already turned her into the poster for domestic abuse against men. And started sharing around with statistics, and it's like one of those posters you would actually see like on a billboard somewhere about domestic violence. It's great.
Yeah. So y'all have a good rest of your day. We will see you bright and early tomorrow. I'll tell you what, we're going to leave you once again with Xavier losing his mind. So y'all have a good night, good afternoon. I'll catch you later.
Ah! Mother! Fuck!
We've got orders in the Fort Pelican.
Fucking